We're back live, so this is part 2. It should be titled all caps posters, which means we are starting a whole new segment here. Thank you for letting me pause and take a break. I feel much better. It is sometimes difficult. I've trained myself multiple times now to stay late and be well prepared on food, but if I misprepare, then it's tough to do these sales 6-7 hours straight. But a quick break is very refreshing. So when you're on watch, be sure to let me know. Let me grab my cellular device with comments. And let me jump over here. So go ahead and say a hi and hello comment whenever you're watching. And we'll get everybody on that's probably going to be interested in taking a look at this stuff. And I did say like 11:05 or maybe 11:10, but I ate quick. I'm a fast eater. What they say, wolf it down. And hands are washed of pizza grease. And we're going to show some posters. I was trying to find a good thumbnail image, and I literally opened a packet, pulled this out, and it was the first poster. And I was like, whoa. So here we have it. Craig says he's here. I don't know. This is a pretty good looking poster. I'm going to go ahead and get logged into all of our databases. I'm probably going to use my other. This phone needs charging, so I'm probably going to use my laptop. Plug this in. Craig's here. Patty's here. Josh is here. There's the first 3 at least. Let me get this plugged in right here. There we go. Patrick's here. All right, so now we need Michael Ruttman. We need Michelle. We need Henry. We need Landro. We need Kyle. Some of those other people over on YouTube that watch exclusively. Let me turn this off. Let me turn this on. Let me log in. Excuse me, over here. And I think I should be in. What's this called? Excuse me, Matt Clark, Jesse Hood. The giant Gilla monster. And I've ate a bunch of pizza and drank Diet Coke. So I apologize if I'm over here like whatever underneath my breath. Let me get logged in. If I get logged in here, we'll get very fast. That's why one reason I went ahead and started the one reason I started the stream early. Let me get signed into Terapeak as well. Alright, now we should be good to go. And we need recent. Let's turn on the filters. Recent and then posters. That's a 3-sheet. Well, I started the show in a great way. This is so let's see who's on. So this is a great way to start. I'm going to go ahead and start right now. This is the giant Gilla monster. This is a Ken Curtis packet. A Ken Curtis packet. This one is signed down here below this hot rod. It's signed by Ken Curtis, and I know Fred met him multiple times. And of course, that is Ken Curtis, mostly known from Fester, from Gunsmoke. Same person. And this is a really good poster. Not only just by itself, but it's signed by Ken Curtis, who produced this. It's produced by Ken Curtis, so it's actually signed by the producer, Ken Curtis, also well-known actor, known mostly from Gunsmoke. This is a sort of a horror movie too, so really cool subject matter, and it's in beautiful condition. And the last one sold here almost 4 years ago, and then one sold about a year ago, and those sold for $276 and $288. So those sold for almost $300. This one's like near mint, and it's signed by Ken Curtis. $325 if anybody wants it. That's a great way to start the show, but it's a pricey one. It's in beautiful condition, though. There's no pinholes. It's crisp, and it's signed by Ken Curtis. This is $325, and That's a really cool poster. The giant Gilla monster. Only hell could be bred with such an enormous beast. Only God could destroy it. It also mentions these rock and roll hits. My Baby She Rocks, I Ain't Gonna Made That Way, and the Gilla Monster Crawl. The Gilla Monster Crawl, wow. 1959. Yeah, this thing's beautiful. Look at the color of the paper. Original one sheet signed by Ken Curtis. That is $325. And that's better condition than the most recent one sold. And it's autographed. Pretty cool. I'm going to fold that back up. That's a great way to start. Let me put that right over here. And that is, yeah, that's $325. I'm going to put that actually over here. That's such a good one. All right, let's keep rolling then. So let me actually pull up, because I got a lot more stuff signed by him, including lobby cards and posters. Let me see what his, let me find some of his comps on signatures. I'm sure there's some Festus stuff that's signed. And let me type in J, because we're about to show some more of his stuff. Over here, JSA. Okay, there's a cut signature, $40. There's a signed photo, $160. Signed photo, $500. Signed photo, $249. So it looks like cut signatures are anywhere between $40 and $80, and signed photos are in between $150 and $250. So we're going to have some good items, because I think a lot of this stuff is signed by him. We'll go ahead and show these first two right here. All right, this is Singing on the Trail. Singing on the Trail. Best wishes, Ken Curtis. So that is signed by Ken Curtis. This one's also signed. So two signed lobby cards, Singing on the Trail and Singing on the Trail. Those are signed. And then we got Singing on the Trail, Best Wishes, Ken Curtis, and Singing on the Trail, Best Wishes, Ken Curtis. That's the original 1946, and this looks like a 55 reissue. So 46 and 55 on that. These are posters. We're doing a segment of posters, lobby cards, and other collectibles right now. Yes. All right. Let's see what we have here. Here's another poster. The Marlon Brando is right here behind me. It actually has not moved since I ended the sale last night. It's right here behind me. I've not figured it out, but the more research I do, I've not figured out the price, but the more I keep looking, the more it goes up. So y'all probably hope I stop looking, because so far it's getting harder for me to find any information. We still have Chevy Chase. Yeah, I'll do those in just a second. We didn't finish that box from last night. Stallion Cannon. This is Ken Curtis. This one's not signed. It looks like the signed stuff's going to be kind of pricey by him. I mean, signed photos are, you know, $150. And, I mean, but if anybody's interested, I'll make a deal. Those lobby cards that I showed. This is called Stallion Canyon. But yeah, if you just joined the reboot here, we are going through movie posters, and these are all new stuff from the most recent batch of Fred Goodwin. I'll go through the other stuff we didn't finish last night, and a lot of this is going to take some research, but we'll get to it. All right, there's a half sheet. Michelle, this one is, what year is this? This is 1949. 1949. It has just a little bit of a tear there in the center, and then some pinholes, and then a few color breaks here where it's been folded. $25. 1949. Ken Curtis. 1949. $25 on that. $25 on that. 1949. Michelle can break the ice with that one. All right, so we had the giant Gilla Monster poster still for $325. That was an awesome poster. I'm kind of surprised no one bought it. Then we got the signed Ken Curtis lobby cards. I'm going to start a pile over here of the signed stuff, because if it doesn't sell tonight, we're going to get all this together. Paul just bought a buttload of autographs. We already have a lot. We're probably going to have to do a bulk submission to JSA soon, and probably have about 500, maybe we might be getting close to 1,000 autographs we need to have authenticated. So We'll do that soon. Let me put this in a sleeve for Michelle. Michelle gets the first poster for $25. But yeah, we got some awesome stuff tonight. Let's put that away. And that's the first poster, $25. I say awesome stuff, and I've never even went through it because I know it's gonna be good. Let's see. We're still in the Ken Curtis packet, so I don't know all of his movies, but I'm sure they're Westerns. We'll find out. Pony Express or something of that nature. Pony Express Rider. Pony Express Rider. $15, Michelle. Looks like Michelle's first on that one. $15 on that. Brant's been printing money. Send some my way. All right. If a lot of these are signed, Michelle gets that for 50. A lot of these are signed. I'll skip over them from now. Yeah. Those are all signed. Show Brent the Gilla Monster. Brent, did you get to see the Gilla Monster? There's another Pony Express Rider if anybody wants that one. Pony Express Rider. There's another one for $15 if anybody wants it. Pony Express Rider. Thanks for joining part 2. If anybody just hopped on, we're just really getting into the groove of going through posters. This is a Ken Curtis packet. That's how we started. The first poster was a wow factor. And I think this is another Pony Express. This is another Pony Express rider. Paul Brothers says he wants one. And here is another. All right, so this one's signed. Okay, that one's signed by Ken Curtis. Ken Curtis Festus from Gunsmoke. So that one's signed. So that one will not be $15. If anybody wants a price, let me know. This one is sold to Paul Brothers. I'm going to look at that one more time, Paul. These are in the same packets. And make sure this one's not signed either, hidden. I don't think it is, unless he signed it up in here and it's hid. I don't see it. So, Paul, I'll see that one for $15. Yeah, let's show the Gilla Monster, because it looks like some people just hopped on. It's $325. I'll go ahead and say that. But when you see it, you'll want to know why. The most recent comps were like $285 and $273. But this thing is mint. It's crisp. It's white, and it's the colors and the subject matter. But not only that, it's signed by Ken Curtis. Take a look at this thing. $325. The giant Gilla Monster. Beautiful. Awesome. Got the monster claw, the hot rod, and it's signed Best Wishes, Ken Curtis. Produced by Ken Curtis. Signed. $325 on that. So, like, very fine ones were selling in the $275 range. This thing is like near mint minus, and it's signed. $325 on that one is what I came up with. Very, very nice. And you can see it's crisp. And then the only other thing I've kind of skipped over is these are all signed lobby cards by Ken Curtis. All signed lobby cards. All signed lobby cards. Brent said he would do $295. Let me put that in pending for about 30 seconds and make sure nobody else is interested, and I'll probably go ahead and sell it to you. Now, here are more lobby cards that I don't think are signed. So these are going to be exponentially cheaper. It's an awesome. I opened that up. I was like, all right, I've got to find something to start the thumbnail image, and I opened this first packet, Ken Curtis. I pulled that out, and that was the first poster, and it was signed. It's $325. Brant's made an offer for $295, and it's pending unless maybe somebody else that just joined is interested. But I'll probably go ahead and roll that over to Brent. So these aren't signed. 1946, Singing on the Trail. 1946, Cowboy Blues. And then here's the 1955 Singing on the Trail. And this is a cool looking lobby card. This is Everybody's Dancing, starring Spade Cooley and his band, Sons of the Pioneers. So there's some some old lobby cards. 1940s, early 50s, mid 50s. I'll do those for $10 a piece if anybody wants them. $10 a piece if anybody wants them. And then we got a bunch signed, and that was signed too. Brent told me he could do 300. Okay. All right, so that's the Ken Curtis stuff. If anybody's interested in signed lobby cards or that last signed poster, let me know. Let's pull out another one here at random. We got some cool stuff here. Let's see here. Oop, here we go. This is awesome. Especially if you collect this guy, and I know a lot of y'all do. This is 1943 Life magazine. 1943 Life magazine. Roy Rogers and Trigger. Roy Rogers and Trigger. He's got it in double plastic. Roy Rogers and Trigger. No address label. No address label. 1943 Life Roy Rogers. No address label. $15 on that if anybody wants it. I'm looking for the latest Black Sabbath box set, Tony Martin years. I have the Black Sabbath box set. $15 on that. Those are Matt, I think they're $119.99. All right, Brent, I'm going to say the Gilla Monster. Nice pickup. Sold to Brent for $295. That is a fair price for the poster, much less signed with that signature on there. So, great deal on that. That's sold to Brent for $295. And let me get a piece of... I've been wanting to... I keep this under here. I've been meaning to do this for... get this dust off of it. I'm going to put this here so we can have a flat platform. The $295 bill. All right, that's sold to Brent. And this is sold to Paul Brothers for $15. Okay. I do have that black. I know we got several in the back. I know there's a couple people hadn't paid for. So let's see here. Wow, that's a cool lobby card. The Caribou Trail and Bandman's Territory. This one's got some damage to it. That's a cool one, though. Look at that. The Caribou Trail, 1950, and Badman's Territory. And I think that's the only two things in here. That was Randolph Scott. Randolph Scott, yeah. That was the two Randolph Scott. Even though this is damaged, I'm thinking on this one, $10 and $10. $10 and $10 on those. Now, Kenny, was that a claim? Was that a reservation, or was that just an excitement post? Ah, this is cool. Oh, Blazing Sandals. Okay, I've never seen that movie, so I wouldn't know. Okay, these are signed by the Lone Ranger, Clayton Moore. These are signed by Clayton Moore, the Lone Ranger. They're lobby cards. Badman's. Now, this one right here. Brent wants this one for $10. Brent wants this one right here for $10. All right, let me put that in a sleeve for you. Now, this autograph, I'll guarantee, he had I'm confident selling this one. This and Ken Curtis. I mean, Fred had pictures with Ken Curtis. He had pictures with Clayton Moore, so these are good. Sometimes we'll run across others like those Roger Maris I want to have double check, but these I'll go ahead and sell. And I think we actually may have had something already JSA stickered that was Clayton Moore's from the first batch of stuff. Clayton Moore. Let's go sign. Let me see what just his signature sells for over here. Let's check JSA. JSA, then we'll go PSA or Beckett. Let's see there. That is a signed card. 6450. There's a signed photo. 60. There's a signed personalized photo. Him dressed as the Lone Ranger. Those tend to probably be more desirable. Him actually as Lone Ranger. But it looks like also cut signatures are pretty popular because people take them and they frame them with pictures of the Lone Ranger. There's Jesse James Rides again. So what I'm seeing is $50 to $60 for signed, for anything signed, pretty much, maybe even on the low end. So I'll do any one of these for $45, Brent. Now this one and this one, one of these is probably a reissue. I bet this is the original lobby cards, and I bet that's a reissue. That's just what I'm guessing. The way it looks, I don't know. But Brent, anyone you want, or anybody else, they're signed $45. And Josh Westbrooks wants the Everybody's Dancing lobby card right back here. And I think I said $10 on that, right? So that's sold to Josh Westbrook for $10. And Brent says he'll take the black and white one, signed by Clayton Moore, $45. That's sold to Brent. All right, that is the Lone Ranger of the 50s and 60s, mostly 50s. And there's two more there if anybody wants them. I'm going to put the signed stuff right over here tonight because I'm probably going to go ahead and do mass JSA submissions. And if something comes back bad that I've already sold one of to somebody else, I'll let you know. But I've got full confidence in that one. Or I wouldn't be selling it. All right, let's see what else is in here. Moving on. Let's see here. Don't forget about the, we got to finish up those Chevy Chase stuff. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, this is, okay. Let me do this first, though. Is there something in here? It's not in there. That's empty. That's unfortunate. Ooh. Okay, let's go through these. Make sure none's signed. There's probably a good chance they are. Alrighty, so we have. Let me pre-sort them, and then we probably go through them faster. I'll probably make them all the same price. Okay, that one's signed. This one's signed by Bob Nolan. Fred was personal friends with him. That one's signed by Bob Nolan. That one's signed by Bob Nolan. Okay, I don't think they'll be too expensive. All right, these are $10, $10, and $10. Lobby cards. Song of Nevada. Song of Nevada. That's a Roy Rogers film. And then this one's cool. The Gay Ranchero. And that is like the title card. Also $10. So Roy Rogers, and Roy Rogers. And those are $10 each. Now, let me look up Bob Nolan right quick. These are some old lobby cards, older lobby cards as well. I have a feeling his signature isn't very much, but I've been surprised before checking some of these, especially after they're authenticated. Bob Nolan, Western actor, Sons of the Pioneers. Lots of Nolan Ryan baseball cards popping up. I don't see too many Bob Nolan. Now filter by. Yeah, there's pretty much. Yeah, I don't think it'd be too expensive. All right, so let's see what we had going on here. What's everybody doing? So Michelle first on JR. That was the gay ranchero. So that sold to Michelle for $10. And then Travis, it looks like you're second. And then Brent kind of put RR there. That kind of doubled down on the Roy Rogers. So Brent, I guess that means if you want Song of Nevada, you've got dibs on these, 1 or 2. And then J.D. Conklin, you're second if you want 1 or 2. So I'll see what's going on there. I'm going to be opening the next packet until I'm going to open the next packet before I show these next lobby cards. And let's see what's in here. I'm trying to find posters, but the best way to... Ooh, that's a good one. Wow, who was that signed by? Man, it's so fun going through this. You never know what you're going to open. First of all, they're in sealed packets. And so you open it up and then you're like, whoa, it's signed. And it's signed by somebody big sometimes. Paso Nevada. All right, so J.D. Conklin, these are yours if you want them. You can say left, right, or both. They're $10 each, or you can pass. What year is that? It don't have a year on it. That's got to be, what, early, mid-50s? Okay, and these next ones are $15, and they're signed by Bob Nolan. I'll do these for $15. They're signed by Bob Nolan. Two-Fisted Rangers, 1939. Signed by Bob Nolan. Two-Fisted Rangers, 1939. Utah, also signed by Bob Nolan. Utah, $15. And I thought this one was pretty colorful. It also mentions Roy Rogers and Trigger. El Dorado, also signed by Bob Nolan. $15 on those. So those are all three. Two-Fisted, Utah, and El Dorado. He said sold. So I'm assuming you want both Songs of Nevada then. So these are sold for $10 and $10 to J.D. Conklin. So $10 and $10 to J.D. Conklin. Those are sold and sold. And then for $15, the first person on T, which was Two-Fisted Ranger, that's sold to Brent. Now, if anybody decides they pass, be sure to let me know specifically. That's sold to Brent for $15, Two-Fisted Ranger. Next was Robert Philippi on Utah, signed by Bob Nolan. That's sold to Robert Philippi for $15. And then I've got Brent on H for El Dorado, then Michelle, then Robert, then JD. And that's sold to Brent as well for $15. All righty. And that was a Roy Rogers lobby card packet. And there's Scott Randolph. I'll save those sleeves for when we need them. And then I've been giving them to them in the back to sleeve stuff later. And all right, so this has got some signatures on it. One of them I don't know, and one of them I can clearly make out. Glenn. I think I know what it says. We'll find out, though. I'm going to show them both at the same time. Let's do one at a time. That'll be easier. The Revengers, and it looks like it's signed by Ernest Borgnine, which I think I'm not butchering his name too bad, especially his last name. Ernest Borgnine. All right, there's a JSA cut. Yeah, that looks pretty. Let me take a closer look. Nailed the name. Borgnine. That's what it looks like. I just feel like earlier there was, or we've had this before, McHale's Navy. There's a signed photo, 89. A signed picture, 85. A signed McHale's Navy comic book. I think Fred has something that looks just like that. It's framed in the back for 150. Do we have anything like a lobby card or a poster? That's pretty cool having a poster or a lobby card. I don't see a lobby card. Let's see if there's any posters. But it looks like signed pictures are in the 80 or 90 range. That looks good to go. So $75 on that. $75. I think signed photos and anywhere 85 and up, 75 for this. And that's the Revengers lobby card signed. Chris Knapp, I think you were the first one on that if you are interested. If not, I'm going to lay it right over here. So I think Chris Knapp is first on that if anybody else wants it. Here's the other one, and I'll go ahead and show it. It is Jubal. Really cool looking lobby card. And I think that says Glenn Ford. I think that says Glenn Ford, Jubal. Glenn with 2 N's. Glenn with 2 N's. Where's my Diet Coke at? Let's look up a Glenn Ford signed. Well, there's no picture there. 310 to Yuma. Yeah, that's his signature. Yep. That's Glenn Ford. All right, so cancel check. There's a photo. 2. Signed photo personalized. All right, let's go to authenticated stuff. And I usually price less because I know what it could sell for authenticated, but obviously these aren't, so I usually go less. Looks like signed photos with stickers and everywhere are anywhere between 50 and 75. This is a cool looking lobby card signed by Glenn Ford. That looks very good. $55 on that. $55 on that, Brent. And that's a cool lobby card. Everything that was authenticated was like photos and nothing really like original memorabilia. That is sold to Brent for $55. I asked somebody the other day, we was talking about somebody that works for PSA, and I was asking them about or JSA about signed. I would love to have some campaign posters signed by different presidents because I collect a lot of political stuff, and I was like, have you ever seen something like a Ronald Reagan poster signed, or even anything, any candidate going back to Kennedy? And that's very tough stuff to come by. It don't hardly ever come up for sale. All right, we got some more signed lobby cards here, I think. A couple actors here. I'm going to mix them up so we have some different stuff. I think I might go ahead and show some posters for sure we didn't get to last night, which is right here. So let me mix it up a little. We'll get away and do some of this stuff here. So I know y'all are going to be interested in this. And we have this right here, which is Chevy Chase Funny Farm. Chevy Chase Funny Farm. Wow, Kenny was fast to that. I have a baseball signed by Ronald Reagan. Yeah, that's something people collect. I know some people who collect obscure signed baseballs. Heritage had one not too long ago, or Christie's. One of the big auction houses did a baseball signed by Thomas Edison. It brought something crazy. And my first question was, why was Thomas Edison signing a baseball? A Stevie Ray Vaughan baseball recently sold for $15,000. When we had some Stevie Ray Vaughan autographs, I was looking up Stevie Ray Vaughan, and a Stevie Ray Vaughan baseball had sold for, I think, $10,000 or $15,000. But yeah, there's a huge market for obscure signed, people you wouldn't think, why were they signing a baseball? Like Stevie Ray Vaughan or Thomas Edison or the Beatles. There were some the Beatles had signed where they played at Shea Stadium and they were signing baseballs that day. So that's what makes them so valuable. It's like, why was Thomas Edison, at one point in history in his life, was he signing a baseball for somebody? Or even Stevie Ray Vaughan. Or the Beatles make sense because they played up there at Shea Stadium maybe. And maybe Stevie Ray Vaughan did. He was backstage signing. Or maybe he played in a baseball stadium. He was signing for somebody. Okay, sorry about that. Kenny Begley, I'll get distracted if y'all let me. Kenny Begley, $15 on that. Michael Ruckman, second. Ace Frehley, yeah. And musicians. Yeah, all the musicians. And Brent's right. Go check out Geddy Lee's collection. He just sold all that, though. I think it was Christie's. I think that's who had the Thomas Edison ball. It was Christie's. Christie's Auctions just sold. Christie's Auction just sold Geddy Lee's collection. It went all the total collectively. It sold for well up in the millions. That sold to Kenny for $15. But yeah, certain obscure baseballs are serious money. I forgot some of those other ones that Geddy Lee had. If you go Geddy Lee baseball auction, if you Google that, you'll see some of that on that. Oh, Heavenly Dog. Boy, Kenny knows these before I even unfold them. He is fast on these. Oh, Heavenly Dog. $15 on this, Kenny. Yeah, I have a feeling what happens is if like an artist like Stevie Ray or Aerosmith, if they've played at a baseball stadium, I'm sure they're like backstage or like in a dressing room and there's baseballs around and like people there at the stadium are asking for them to sign them. And then that's how they get in circulation. Because otherwise, why would, Steven Tyler be signing a baseball? Unless it's like somebody that collects them and they know they're going to get to meet them. Geddy Lee sold, yeah, $6.5 million. Yep, that sounds about right. And I don't think he sold everything, but he sold most of it. Overboard. Geddy Lee was trying to get every Hall of Famer a signed baseball, which that's a life. Two things to do that. If you want a baseball signed by every Hall of Famer, you're going to have a lot of money and a lot of patience because some of them don't come up for sale but every 5 or 10 years. So some of those you may not ever see them. Like you may have to wait years, and then you better be prepared to bid against some other millionaires and possibly billionaires. $10. There is a stain right here. $10 on this Shakedown and then Michael Ruttman. Shakedown and then Michael Ruttman. Some people try to get, that's sold a Shakedown for $10. Some people try to get all the Hall of Fame footballs signed. That's extremely difficult because it's so hard to even find those really old footballs from like the 20s. They hardly even exist. They're just old, hard leather nowadays. There's some serious collectors out there. They'll wait for years to bid on something. Then they're willing to pay $50,000 if they need to. Oh, Heavenly Dog. Here's another one. $15 on this one. I had 2 of them. Oh, Heavenly Dog. Oh, Heavenly Dog. $15 on that. If anybody else wants that. Another Chevy Chase film. An adult tale of a murder, mystery, and forbidden love. Kenny bought one. There's another one. Okay. I wish I could remember some of those other baseballs Geddy Lee had, though. And I'm not saying he was the one with the Thomas Edison, but somebody did. Somebody did. Unless I'm thinking of another scientist. Pretty sure it's Thomas Edison, though. Nikola Tesla. Some of those people, I'm like, were they even around when baseball was? Now, if someone has a George Washington signed baseball, you know it's fake. Okay? That's a fraud. I don't think that was even around. I know it wasn't. All right, let's see what we have here. If someone's trying to push on you a signed, Napoleon baseball, they're frauding you. Colt Comrades, 1943. Hopalong Cassidy, William Boyd. William Boyd as Hopalong Cassidy. Colt Comrades, 1943. Hopalong Cassidy. I have not. I've actually misplaced them. They're somewhere in a box in our storage room, all those signed golf items. I haven't seen them since that night that I was going to show them, and I never did. I've got the Masters flag. I got the Jack Nicklaus photo. The Leather Burners, 1943. Also Hopalong Cassidy. Secret of the Wastelands, 1941. Also Hopalong Cassidy. The Borrowed Trouble, 1948. Also Hopalong Cassidy. And another Colt Comrades, 1943. Also Hopalong Cassidy. Sinister Journey, 1948. Also Hopalong Cassidy. Three on the Trail, 1936. Wow. There is some damage down here. 1936. Three on the Trail. And Silver on the Sage. And those are more William Boyd films. Now this one's got some writing on it. At first I thought it was a signature. It says maybe Catherine and Catherine. And it's got some water damage at the bottom. 1936 though. $7. And there's Silver on the Stage. So those are all William Boyd, Hopalong Cassidy movies. And the stack continues. I think I've got two more here. Lumberjack, once again, William Boyd, Hopalong Cassidy, and The Marauders, 1947. So those are all William Boyd, Hopalong Cassidy lobby cards. And now we're changing packets. I've got a stack already here loaded and ready to go. So pretty much anything in that pile, $10. Everything in that pile, $10. All right, this is signed by this is the Dalton Gang, signed by Don Barry, it looks like. Don Barry, the Dalton Gang. See what we can find out about Don Barry. Actor. Okay. $15. Doesn't look like that much of an expensive. Year. No year at the bottom. I will do a quick search over here on Google. Dalton Gang movie. Not 2020. Not 1979. When the Daltons Ride. There's no Wikipedia entry. Western. 1949. There is a Wikipedia. 1949. Film starring Don Red Barry. He died in 1980. He was nicknamed Red after appearing in the first Red Ryder film. So he was the original Red Ryder. Wow. Original Red Ryder. That does say 49, so yeah, I'm assuming that's the year. I sometimes look at that and use it, but I like to see copyright 1949. But yeah, the original Red Ryder, it says here on Wikipedia. His actual name is Milton Pombuth. No wonder he changed his name. But he appeared in the first Red Ryder film, 1940. I'll do that for $15. It is signed the Dalton Gang. But that says 49-563. Okay. This is Raiders of Old California. Raiders of Old California. Also co-starring Marty Robbins and Lee Van Cleef. J.D. Conklin wants Dalton Gang. Let me make sure Brent doesn't want it. If Brent doesn't want it for $15, then it's yours. Raiders of Old California. I'll do that one for $10, Michelle. It's Hopalong, a package, or selling. No, you can buy any one of those for $10, John Cassidy. Or you can buy all of them if you want a bundle deal. I'll discount them and sell them all if you want all, or they're $10 each. J.D. Conklin gets the signed Dalton Gang for $15. Raiders is sold to Michelle for $10. And we have the Timber Trail. Monty Hale and Lynn Roberts, the Timber Trail. Six Gun Music, 1948. Six Gun Music. That was definitely hung in a theater at one point. I still think that's amazing. That was hanging in a theater somewhere around the year 1948. Timber Trail, $10. Six Gun Music, $10. This is a reprint, it looks like. Just a photo. The Rough Riders below the belt. Or excuse me, below the border. Below the belt. That was a spinoff. The Below the Border, $5 on that. Brent said sold on Timber Trail for $10. That's sold to Brent for $10. Six Gun Music and Below the Border. Also carefully examining these. I guarantee you I'll end up selling something that is signed and I don't catch it. Boy, these are nice though. These two here are really cool, very nice. I'm going to put these away. I'm going to put those right there. We have Raiders of Old California, which is the title card that looks like the poster, and then Lash LaRue and the Frontier Phantom. So Raiders of Old California. I'm going to have to check that one. That's a pretty nice looking one. Raiders of Old California. Let's see. Of course, if I don't put something in there, the DVDs always pop up. And Fred has an unbelievable DVD collection. All right, there's the one like I just sold Michelle, I think. Michelle, you got a pretty good deal on that, I think, from what I'm seeing here. 1957 lobby card. All right, some of these are being sold in lots. I try to just divide it out on average. But yeah, these are still $10. Still $10 on these. Brent, first on that one. And I think you're first on this one. Michelle, second on that one. So yeah, $10 each on those. Some of them sold in some lots where it averages out a little bit higher, but $10 a piece will get those. So I'm trying to figure out what oh, wow, this one's cool. All right, Brent says he'll take both. Let me put those in the sleeves they were in. So these sold for $10 and $10. This was a pretty big stack of lobby cards. We're almost through with it, and then I'll go back to some of that stuff we were working on last night. But this one's cool because it has somebody on it that is a major star in different ways. This is The Bad Man starring Wallace Berry with a little blurb here of the former president, Ronald Reagan. So that's the Bad Man lobby card with Ronald Reagan on it. Of course, he was an actor before he became governor of California and then eventually the president of the United States of America. Let's see here. As mentioned in there it is, 2007. It looks like there's one lobby card where it looks like he's about to kiss that woman. One of those sold back. Well, there's where 2 sold for $75. Is he in that one? It looks like they sell less, obviously, when he's not on it. But that one right there by itself sold for $57 back in 2007. Let me check Terapeak. Seems a little much, but it wouldn't surprise me. Wow. So yeah, there's where one by itself sold. That sold for a lot. And then there's the whole set. It didn't get a bid though. Are these? Oh, those are active. Okay, those are active. Yeah, none sold. I was about to say that's a lot. I thought one sold for $330. I was like, that's not right. All right, so yeah, the only one just like this that's ever sold individually from the 2 sources I used was $57. Yeah, Lionel Barrymore, Wallace Berry. I'll do this one. I mean, the last one sold individually, $57. This one does have where it was pinned, and this is the title card, which means that's like if it was a set, that would be number 1. $50 even, which I think is a great price. Brent and then Michelle. $50 on that one. That sold to Brent for $50. Shepherds of the Ozark. Shepherd of the Ozark. And then we have Prairie Outlaws with Eddie Dean and the Singing Buckaroo, Fred Scott. That looks like an older one there. That looks like 30s almost. Westerns. A time in American history for sure. They held top of the charts for a long time. That's all that was being made. Westerns. Literally a time for American history. Singing Buckaroo, $10. And then Michael Ruttman, Ozark, $10. So $10 and $10 on those. All right, let me do a little cleaning because I have emptied a lot of packets here. Let me put this lobby card Brent just bought in a sleeve. I have an extra one here. I think that one's worthy of a sleeve. Brent said sold on Singing Buckaroo for $10, and that's pinning to Michael for $10. I always double check these packets too at the end of the night before I throw the empty envelopes in the trash. I always peek in them one more time. Make sure not like a signed index card has got tucked down in there. So Michael got Ozark for $10. So that means no takers on Prairie Outlaws. Possibly 1948. Yeah, 1948. It says, and his horse Flash. $10 if anybody wants that. Okay, so let's pull out something new here. Let's pull out this whole handful from the bottom. I'm going to read some of these off. Might read them to myself. That sounds interesting. I'm going to put it face down. Those first 3 all said autographed. Let's put that face down. Let's put that face down. Any damage on Prairie Outlaws? No. It's nice. It may have, well, it kind of looks like it was folded right there at one time, but I don't think it was. Maybe just a crease or a stress. But you really can't tell it, obviously, right there. All right. Let's see here. What did I lay down face down here? Under Mexicali Stars. Under Mexicali Stars. Are these all different? Maybe it's a set. J.D. Conklin wants the Prairie Outlaws for $10. So under Mexicali Stars. Under Mexicali Stars. There's 2 of those. Let me stop there. This is Rex Allen. This one here is tape repaired. That one has a little bit of a tear there. $15 for both of them. That's a early. What year is this? I'm about to say I don't. That's an early helicopter there. $15 if anybody wants both of those under Mexicali stars. $15 for both of those. Old Oklahoma Plains, starring Rex Allen and Coco. 1952. Old Oklahoma Plains. Old Oklahoma Plains. All right, let me jump over here. And last night, I almost were about to show this. Let me pull them all out, and we're about to go through these right here. But first, let me show the rest of these Rex Allens. The rest of the Rex Allens were South Pacific Trail, South Pacific Trail, South Pacific Trail, under Mexicali stars. There's the title card. There's the title card. Some tape. They put the tape on the wrong side. You're supposed to put it on that side. And then there's the first one. So we'll just say $10 on all those except for those two, unless anybody wants them all. Those are all Rex Allen movies. All right, there's the packet. I'm going to use that later. That's empty. Now we're going to change back over to some of the stuff we had last night. First is a 1962 Life magazine with Marlon Brando on the cover. 3 epic movies, including Mutiny on the Bounty, the story behind the rage recorded on the Kennedys, Russia's hidden clash with Red China. $15. No, well, there was an address label. It's been peeled off nicely. Marlon Brando, $15. Brett, you're first. Jerry Conklin, let me know which Rex Allens you want. There's a lot there, or you may want all of them. Yeah, there's some tape. Let's see, is that a tape or stain? That is tape on the L, yes. Salem cigarettes on the back. All right, next is Burn. B-U-R-N. This is all Marlon Brando stuff. Burn. This is a little bit different style. This is style B. $15. Brent, then Michelle. Style B. I don't think I've seen that one before. $15 on that. Brent's passing on the Brando Life magazine. If anybody wants that, $15. Marlon Brando Life magazine. Let's go through the Rex Allens one more time for J.D. Conklin. Burns, $15 if anybody wants it. So there's South Pacific Trail, South Pacific Trail, South Pacific Trail, South Pacific Trail. Those are all $10 each. That is, well, hold on a second. Let's skip that one. That is $10, Old Oklahoma Plains. And then I said this one and that one for $15. But I'll put that one in there as well for $5. So $20 for those 3. The other ones are $10. There's one Oklahoma Plains and then the South Pacific Trails. All right. Next is Mutiny on the Bounty. It has a rip corner here, and it has a rip corner down here. Mutiny on the Bounty. We had the 3 sheet for that the other night. And I still haven't found out any information on this One-Eyed Jack's UK British quad that we had last night. Still no information on that. I have the lineup saved on my phone, and we will get to it. But as of right now, I'm having no luck with that one. Let's see if I can find this one. So what's this movie about? If it's got Brando in it, I'm interested. It looks like it's some kind of scallywag swashbuckler movie. $1962. That's 10 years before The Godfather. Of course, he was acting for a while. Goes back to the 40s, right? 40s and 50s with Brando. Let's see here. There's an Australian one sheet. There is a folded, very fine style B. That's this one. That one's very fine. This one's got some ripped corners. That one, though, sold for $53. I had a feeling this was a little bit better poster. And there's one for $53 as well. I'll do this for $35. $35. It's about a bunch of scallywags. That's what I figured. It looks like a bunch of scallywag swashbucklers. Michelle, Brent, and Michelle said sold for $35. All right, that's gone. There's a single One-Eyed Jack. I saw that. I saw that one. Okay, and JD's going to let me know on Rex. Let's see what the next poster is. It's another burn. We had 2 passes on the last one, so $15 on burn. There was passes on that earlier. And I'm excited about this. There's 3 or 4 items left, but man, there could be some epic stuff in here. We've had this before. There is the US one sheet to One-Eyed Jacks. There's the US one sheet. All right. There it is. Michelle, $25 on this. Feel like that's a really good price. Just has small pinholes at the top. $25. JD wants the first Pacific Trail photo. All right. Paul Brothers wants burn. Paul, I think this other one was a little bit better. I'll give you that one for $15. Michelle gets One-Eyed Jacks for $25. And let me make sure that there's another burn if anybody wants it. Did you want this one here? There may be something wrong with his face there. It looks like they messed up the inking. His face is red. It looks like the red from his shirt got inked on his face. If that's the one you're talking about, JD. If not, then that was the next first one, which is number 4. So the one with the fire or the one where he's on the horse. There is another burn. Let me skip that. I'll come back to that. Let me see what the next poster is. I never heard of this movie, I don't think. Maybe. Yeah, I think we've had this before. No, I don't think we have. Missouri Breaks with Jack Nicholson. Missouri Breaks. $25, Michelle. $25. I'm about to say, it looked familiar, but I must have just had one because I don't remember that one. $25. One just sold for $34. Michelle said sold $25. He said the one after $4. Okay. This one, number 2. Number 2? We're getting close. If that's the right one, let me know. That's number 2. All right, so it looks like, I'm going to show these at the same time. Boy, this is early for him, I think. Well, relatively. The Fugitive Kind, 2 lobby cards. The Fugitive Kind. And he said 2 is right. So that's sold to J.D. Conklin for $10. South Pacific Trail. The Fugitive Kind, 1960 lobby cards. A day bill. 6 of a kind. Why did that sell so much? That's weird. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. There they are. It's been a while, but they're not that pricey. Brent, I'll do them for $10 and $10. $10 and $10. I don't think you can go wrong there. All right, so we got the Rex Allen stuff figured out. Those are still available. 10 and 10 on those, Brent. He says he wants the one on the bottom here. So there's another Brando lobby card if anybody wants it. And okay, I think this is a different style. Let's see what we have here. Okay, there's a different burn. That's style A. The Man Who Sells War. That's style A. Looks like just a little bit of like discoloration on it. I think that's supposed to be pure white. But it kind of doesn't take away to it too much. There is a hole right up here at the top where my finger is pointing. $15. 1970. $15. Brent and then Craig. Brent and then Craig. Okay, and the last 2, I've narrowed it down to these 2. Brent says he'll take that for $15. The last 2 we already had earlier. That one's a little bit different. Mutiny on the Bounty. This one's got some damage. One, it's got a weird fold right up here. It's got a stain of some sort right there. I'll do this for just $10 because of that. $10. Michelle, you've got first dibs. She said she'll take it. All right. Next. Let's see what else is in this box. I've got a couple more pieces of his, but I'm going to pause. And I'm very curious what's in some more of these pockets. I think just like everybody else. Let me go ahead and show this thing because it's big and it's been at the bottom. It's been at the bottom or the top of the box. So I'm going to go ahead and show it. Wow, this is cool, actually. I hadn't opened it till right now. It's a Western scrapbook. It looks like somebody put a picture of Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers. Hopalong Cassidy. I'm getting to the point, the stuff I saw that I thought was cool. Somebody made this back in the day. A scrapbook. There's Minnie Pearl. Lots of cowboys. Here's what I seen. They took comic book covers. I don't know where the rest of the comic book is, though. Unfortunate that they did that, but that's pretty cool. They took clippings for magazines and comic books. Advertisements for saddles. More comic book covers. Another picture of Roy Rogers. Pictures of horses. I bet some kid made this at some point. $20, Michelle. Vintage Western scrapbook. If anybody wants it. $20. All right, let's see what's in this packet. There's nothing in that one. Let's see what's in this packet. I might have already took some of this stuff out. No, I didn't. Yeah, there's small stuff down in here, so I got to be careful. I got to look through all these packets because there's some small stuff down in some of these. That's nothing important, but it's small stuff. If any dumpster divers ever go through this stuff, they'll get lucky. Regina says she'll take the scrapbook for, I guess I said $20, right? That's sold to Regina for $20. All right. What's in here? An old movie poster. That's what I like to see. An old looking movie poster. I can tell it's going to be good because the colors are so bold, it's bleeding through the other side. So let's see what we have here. Oh, yes. Beautiful. The San Antone Ambush. Take a look at that one. The San Antone Ambush. Monty Hale. $1949. Fantastic condition for its year. 2015. I see that year, like I'll see where one, so, and then I think, man, that's 9 years ago. I gotta get a bottle of water right quick while I'm thinking about this price. Beautiful, though. Think about the technologies they had back then to print something like this. Don't want to spill that. Let me put that. Let's see here. All right, I've got a comp. Let me do some calculations. I have a price in mind. Fred had $300 on it, which is kind of high. None's really sold since then. All right, let me check one more place, and then I'll be ready to. That one's didn't. That one's still active. That's about what I was thinking. $85. Super nice. That's how I was talking about. It's the colors are so bold they kind of almost bleed through the other side. $85 on this one. I think Josh is first, and then Brent, then Michelle, then Michael. But it's a very high grade poster for the era. Very high grade. Looks like it's got a couple tape repairs on the back here, perhaps. Gotta be careful of those. Okay. And let me get the sleeve for it. San Antonio Ambush, 1949, Monty Hill. Brent, you're next in line. Then Michelle, then Michael. Couldn't find really any for sale. I saw where a one sheet was active, and that's about it. Wasn't in this kind of condition. Brent says he'll take it for $85. All right, that's sold. And here is, I think, I just accidentally kind of got it mixed up, but here is the last item from the Brando packet, which is the one just like Michelle just bought. There's another Mutiny on the Bounty. This one's got another, kind of just like the other one. It's got a weird crease, a little bit of a stain right there. So there's another one for $10 if anybody wants it. It's not, this one presents pretty well. That will flatten out. It's got a couple of those creases right there. But $10 on that if anybody wants it. Mutiny on the Bounty. We might do some, I might do some sorting at the very end. I still got the stuff from last week right over here. I just moved it from last night, or the stuff from last night. The leftovers from last night is what I'm trying to say. All right, here's these better packets that I picked out right here. Let's go through these. And this one said Roy Rogers Advertising, and that's exactly what it is. These are clippings from magazines. The Roy Rogers Camp. It's like a summer camp you could have went to. That's John Wayne. And that's, look at that stuff. Fred's got a whole showcase in his house full of old cowboy lunch boxes, pop guns, holsters, hats, stuff like that. I hadn't bought it yet. It just more and more stuff every time I go there. $10 for those three pieces. If anybody wants the vintage Roy Rogers and John Wayne advertising pieces, $10 for those. $10 for those. And then we have Burl Ives, a signed photo, signed sheet music, a signed Disney lobby card, so dear to my heart, 2 signed. Burl Ives, 5 signed items. Burl Ives, Frosty the Snowman. Okay, so JD, let me know what you're interested in, and I'll price it to you. There's 2 lobby cards, Riders in the Sky, the Foggy Foggy Dew, and the Spiral Road. There is no actually, Susie, there's not actually any Frosty the Snowman. I just said that because he sings Frosty the Snowman. That's the Frosty the Snowman guy. So let me know, and I'll look up his signed stuff, and we'll get you a price. I did say Frosty, but there is no Frosty. Frosty, no Frosties. Those are down the road at Wendy's, but they're already closed. Okay, here's some posters. Here we go. 50s posters here. JD's interested in the So Dear, these signed lobby cards, okay? Let me look up Burl Ives comps, make sure that signature looks close or good. and what they sell for. There's a sold. Okay, we need to be on sold. There we go. Cut signature 35. A cut signature is just like an index card. Cut signature 23. There's a photo. $87. An album, $59. A cut signature with a photo, $32. Index cards, $40. So I feel like a signed lobby card, especially Disney related, should be $45 and $45. So $45 and $45 on these. And because I feel like that's what the signature's worth. And then the Foggy Dew, a little bit different, not a lobby card, but still a cool item. I think that should be $40. So $40, $45, and $45. And those are signed by Burl Ives. And what I'm seeing, those look good. And from Fred, I would say so. So 45 and 45 and then 30 or 40. So 40, 40. I'll do that one for 40. The picture for 40. And then these two lobby cards, JD. So those are pinning the JD. And I need to put the autograph stuff over here that don't sell. So we can get stickers on them. Eventually. JSA stickers. All right, so we got some posters coming up, it looks like. Oh, good. This one's wrapped in plastic. I thought it was... That's a pretty cool looking poster. Is there more than one in here? No. All right. This is The Man from Texas. The Man from Texas, 1947. Sorry for the glare. Hold on a second. There we go. Sometimes I don't even look in what y'all are seeing. He's got smoking guns. There's a train. Looks like a posse search. There's a woman on there, which I'm sure breaks his heart or does something to put a plot twist. Man from Texas, 1947. We're going to try to go through this whole box, and then we've successfully gone through 2 boot boxes. So I'm going to try to go through a lot tonight. I plan on going till 1. We got started early, so that's good. What is this called? I can't find anything. The Man from Texas, 1947. Wow. Wow, I don't see anything on here. Let's go over here then. There's a lobby card. Let me take out the year, because that might... Sometimes being too specific in these search inquiries don't help, but that pulls up way too much. That pulls up a bunch of Clint Eastwood stuff, if I do that. The Man from the Alamo. I might just have to guess at this one. I'm not seeing a lot. There's a beautiful... Wow, that's a beautiful Italian Clint Eastwood for a few dollars more. No wonder it's sold for $9,258. That thing's amazing. Wow, it's almost 6 foot tall too. No wonder. That's like a piece of art. It is a piece of art. This is a pretty cool looking half sheet though. I'm gonna say it does have some condition issues though. I'll say $40. It's 1947. Has a piece of tape there, and it was like this. It was folded like this. 45. What did I just say? $40. $40. I'm sticking with 40. Michelle and then Michael. Michelle and then Michael. 1947. $40 on that. Not almost no. I'm just going by the way it looks. I don't see any comps on that. That's sold to Michelle. She'll take it for 40. All right, that's sold to Michelle. This one I thought was also wrapped in plastic, but it's just folded. And let's see what we have here. It's another half sheet. And oh, well, good and bad. But well, actually both good. Bad for y'all. The Naked Spur, it's signed by James Stewart. It's signed by James Stewart. Now, I hadn't priced any of his autographs yet because I wanted to wait on his, because I don't know the story on where Fred got these, and I heard he had a lot of secretarial stuff over the years, meaning his secretary signed a lot. So that's why I was wanting to wait on his. And kind of like with the Roger Maris, I was going to see if Fred could give us a background. I need to make a list of stuff and call him one day. But yeah, it's signed by James Stewart. Let's see. Let me pull some up and see what I can find out. I got to get some of this stuff if we can get a few of these pre-checked and then get a hold of Fred, and I can go see him or call him, and then we can find out, you know, if we get a couple of these checked, then there'll really good chance they're all good. He probably got them all signed at the same time or sent them at the same time. Hey, there we go. A James Stewart baseball sold for $1,249. See, that's a weird person to be signing a baseball. Not a weird person, a weird reason he'd be signing a baseball. He's not a weird person, I don't think. Legendary actor. Jimmy Stewart. There's a signed photo from A Wonderful Life. That looks good to me. I have a strong feeling they're good. There's just a couple I've just been worried about. But man, they look so good to me. I don't know. Let's call Fred right now. Let me try to find, I'm looking at, I guess he also goes by Jimmy Stewart, Jimmy James Stewart. A lot of these say Jimmy Stewart, James Stewart. It's all the same person. But there's a photograph. It's been JSA verified, 119. There's a photo like from the 40s, like Wonderful Life era, 120. Nothing anywhere close to like a poster like this. Wow, there's a Payne Stewart Pebble Beach pamphlet. I'd like to have that. I'm not seeing anything like a poster sign, but let me go over here to, let me go to this place now. Check Heritage. See what they have ever had signed. How the West was won. Call Northside. That's one of his early movies. Wow, not 1948. There's a lot of results here. Let me try to find this poster. There's a signed poster. Let me look at that. Let me look at this signature. Let me take a look at this. I've gotten a pretty good eye for this stuff, but I'm no forensic expert. But I've gotten a pretty good eye. We've had so many autographs lately. Boy, that's almost identical. There's one. He was in a movie with John Wayne as well. He signed that one Jimmy. So he signed some James and he signed some Jimmy. There's a photo. There's Wonderful Life photos. I'd imagine those are very popular. I guess that's about the only thing I've ever seen them in. Well, I'll kind of leave it up to y'all. So, that's a tough one because I don't like selling these and putting a premium on an autograph unless I feel 100% confident. And this is the kind of signature I'm concerned about. So I'm going to price it. It's a really cool looking poster. It's got a big, nice signature at the top. And I'm looking at what some other signed posters so far. They're not as nice as this, nor they're older. This is 1953. So I'm going to price it, and I will say that I'll still guarantee it because I think it's good. And we got so many other ones. $225, Michelle, Brent, and Landreau. And the more I'm looking at it, the more I feel really confident in it, especially these ones that have JSA and PSA authentication. And I'll still guarantee it. So that means if Brent, Landreau, or Michelle, if y'all ever do have it looked at, it's not good, you can send back. Now, I'll get it authenticated later if everybody passes. And if everybody passes, and then I can get some accurate comps. It could be more or it could be less. It could be more, it could be less. But I really don't like selling these. That's why I've set most of them off to the side except a few. The pricier stuff, I'd like to wait and we make sure. But Landreau, it can be yours right now if you want it for $225 because they're passing. And sorry that one took so long, and I guarantee somebody's going to end up buying something from this batch that's signed that I didn't even see because that one wasn't even wrote anywhere that it was signed. So, all right, moving on. Let's open up something else. That was randomly in a packet over here, so let's move on. That one took a while. But I hadn't really even got a chance till right then to check his signature comps or anything, so. Okay, this is probably going to be pretty popular stuff here. Let me think about it. Okay, I mean, the poster itself's really cool. And, of course, I don't think it's nowhere that expensive of a poster. But, man, it's signed by them. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, this is really cool. One of these, let's lay it down. It's got a couple small tears in the seams. But, man, it's nice. Winning of the West, Gene Autry. Winning of the West. We're in a Gene Autry packet. I'll do a few from this, and I'm going to do some more stuff from last night. We still got that Candace Bergman packet over here from last night. I'm going to try to finish all that stuff. Excuse me. Winning of the West. One sheet 2020, 2000. Okay, so here's pretty much the only thing wrong with it. And, of course, when you frame it right there, you see that it's got one of those seam tears right there and up here. No rips, no stains, and also no pinholes. $65. So just those seam splits where they fold. $65. Michelle, Brent, and Michael. That's one of those really colorful 1952 Westerns. $65. Michelle and then Brent. Michelle said she'll take it. All right. Was that in a sleeve? Where's the sleeve at? Here it is. $65. That's sold to Michelle. Winning of the West, 1952. $65. Okay. This one looks very crisp. See, some of this is, quote, like Fred's personal collection, where, he had stashed away. I mean, these were literally in his living room in drawers and in his office in drawers. This is stuff he really didn't want to sell. It's probably like the best copies of these movies, and I'm sure he had extras at some point. Wow, this is another really cool one. Awesome graphics and colors, and it's in very nice condition. Pack Trail. Gene Autry, Pack Trail, 1953. Gene's cracking down on food hijacking. Somebody's hijacking food out west. That's called Pack Train. Fred loved westerns. When we were over there, Friday, loading up the rest of this, he was on his couch. He was watching some old western. I meant to ask him what it was, but he was just zoned in. He was locked in on it. It was in black and white. I'm sure he could tell everything about it, who starred in it. There it is. 2020, 2021, Fine Plus. This one's like very fine. That one's okay. I'll do 65 on this one as well. 65 on this one as well. That's another beautiful Gene Autry original 1953 movie poster. This is Brent's, Michelle's, Michael, JD. So Brent, Michelle, Michael, JD. And that's sold to Brent for $65. Okay, where's the sleeve for that one? Right here. One of the legendary American cowboys, Gene Autry. You should see the books he has on cowboys. Oh my gosh. Out of those 4,000 books, I bet 500 of them are about the American West and cowboys and cowboy movies and cowboy music. All right, and then here is a collection, it looks like, of Gene Autry magazine advertisements. That's a 1950 BF Goodwinch tire ad. Smith Corona typewriter ad from 41. 1936. What is this advertising? Toothpaste? I guess toothpaste. Cowboy Businessman. 7 pages. Some of these have multiples down in them. So I usually don't charge much for this. All of them for $10. All of those for $10. Brent, you're first, I think. That one's from 36. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Listerine toothpaste. They had toothpaste back then? I don't think about that too often. Toothpaste in the 30s. And some of those have multiples, like some of these have multiples stuck down in them, it looks like. All right, Brent wants those. Let me try to put those all in an envelope together. All right, so I got all those in a, whoever watches the sale, those are all in a packet by itself for $10 to Brent. All righty, and let's see what else is over here. I see a loose poster. Let's see what this loose random poster is. It's definitely got some rips and tears, so I'll go ahead and let you know that right now. It's almost ripped in half. Uh-oh. This thing is, well, this is going to be tough to open. I have a feeling y'all may see this thing self-destruct when I open it, so. It is Hopalong Cassidy. It's William Boyd, I can see that. Yeah, this is in extremely fragile condition. Riders of the Deadline. Riders of the Deadline. And that red streak going through it is a bullet trail. But yeah, that thing is, it's almost ripped in half. Right in here. All from here down is a rip. And then it goes off to the side. And then it's got chipping and fraying. Definitely 50s, maybe 40s. $7. It still exists. Michelle can save it. Riders of the Deadline. Hoppy. We'll need to put that in a sleeve too. Michelle says she'll take it. Do I have an empty sleeve anywhere? Let's see here. I don't need to take any more hits. Let's see. Is this some empty ones? I'll take one of these Ken Curtis out. Let me see if I can get this in here, Michelle, without doing any more good than bad. That's not going to want to... This is probably why it's not in the sleeve. I think it's wider than a lot of other ones. Yeah, I'm going to lay that in the pile. Maybe they can find maybe one of those... Here we go. I'll see if this works. Let's see if this... Nobody bought this last night, this Fred Astaire Life magazine. So we'll rob this of a sleeve and see if it fits down in here. Nope, it's too wide for a Life magazine sleeve. Yeah, this is an odd size. Maybe they can find something in the back. That's so Michelle for $7. Okay. Let's see what else is over here. Nobody's getting sleepy, are they? Only one item in here. It is Faye Dunaway Life magazine. Bonnie's Fashion New Darling. Faye Dunaway in a 30s revival. So Faye Dunaway that was in the Bonnie and Clyde movie. It does have an address strip on the bottom on that. Yeah, we'll try to put it in this. We'll try to put it in this Faye Dunaway packet. We'll see if FedEx. I think it's still too wide, but we'll see. No, it's going to fit in there. Great idea, Michelle and Susie. All right, so the Michelle's $7 Hopalong Cassidy is in the Faye Dunaway Life magazine packet. And if anybody wants Faye Dunaway, Faye is $15. That's usually what I price those Life magazines. They're so cool to look through. Moving on. This looks like an old poster. Nope, it's a lobby card. They're both pretty cool though, especially this one here. We have Ghost Riders of the West, and Robin Hood of the Range. This one is stamped The Q Poster Exchange, Quincy, Illinois, 8th and Jersey. Quincy, Illinois. That's the rubber stamp on the back. The Q Exchange, 8th and Jersey, Quincy. No. Does that say Illinois? No. I guess. Maybe Quincy, Illinois. And then Ghost Riders. It's stamped on the back. Now this is where it's all on the front. $10, Michelle. $10 and $10 if anybody wants those. I'm going to finally open this bottle of water I went over here and got an hour ago. I'm going to open it for the first time. All right, that's on Michelle for 10. Let's move on. Some of these packets only have like one thing in them, like one Life magazine. So they go pretty fast. I've got a whole stack of lobby cards here. We may do those at the very end. I didn't want to... Some of them are signed, some of them not signed, I think. I'm looking for posters. Here's one. Excuse me, I drank the water too fast. Plus, I ate a calzone during the break, and it's very greasy. Lots of water being drank tonight, especially if I go to the gym. Wow, another really cool looking poster here. Oh, let me grab a hold of it here. I try to get them open so I can lay them down flat here for y'all. This is The Stranger from Texas. And this graphic up at the top is really cool. I don't know if y'all can see that. The Stranger, it's a Charles Stewart film. Stranger from Texas. The Stranger from Tejas. 1939, maybe originally on this film. I don't know if this is from 39. I doubt it. 53. This may be a reboot. Because right here is a 1939 one. Columbia. And this is a little bit later. So let me try to find this one. Or I'll just price it. And we need to do a big recap at the end. The last thing, there's one right there. There's one right there. Sold for $50. It's got some clip corners. That's it. One sold on eBay November 17th. So $45 on this one. $45 on this one. 4.5. Nice for what it is, for sure. Michelle and then Michael. And I was going to show you all these stamps on the back. This one's stamped, please return material after playdate to Theater Advertising Co., 704 New Jersey Avenue, Northwest, Washington, D.C. So this came from a distribution place in D.C. at one point. Wild. That sold to Michelle for $45. Stranger from Texas. And let's move on. Next packet. That is what was in there. There's an empty sleeve we can use later. There's that packet. This is two lobby cards, both featuring Spade Cooley, Casa Mañana, and Senorita of the West. 1945 and 1951. Casa Mañana and Senorita of the Rest. Spade Cooley and Spade Cooley. Fred personally knew him as well. I think he produced one of his albums or something. That might have been the thing he got nominated for a Grammy. I think he got nominated for, I think it was something to do with the Spade Cooley, whatever he got nominated for a Grammy. Put those back there. This is, let me wait on those. Those are more lobby cards. Trying to find posters. We got about 10 packets here, but they're going to go quick because I think they are lobby cards and we may not show them all in one night. Trying to just make sure I go through all the rest of the posters in this box. So tomorrow, here's something really different. Maxie. Glenn, who? Glenn Close. He had Maxie, Glenn Close, 1995. Glenn Closey or Close. I'm not familiar with that name. Here's another ancient looking poster, 1950. Let's see what's going on with this one. $10 if anybody wants that. Maxie, never seen that one before. I think we're gonna do a pretty good bundle here. I mean, because not everything, not all the autographs and stuff, but some of this unsold lobby cards and posters. I don't think it's gonna be like one of those $1 or $2 bundles, but I'm gonna mark down some of this cheap. So my goal is not to have too much of this stuff left over, so we're only going through it like one time. The other stuff from the last time we went through, we're going back through twice, and we still have old stuff to go back through. And we may do some of that tomorrow and then mix in some new. We're doing exclusively nothing but new stuff tonight. This is a very fragile poster. Very cool, though. The Vanishing Westerner. The Vanishing Westerner. The Vanishing Westerner. That's hard for me to say. This one has a couple condition issues. Monty Hill. See the chip in here. See the seam split? It's got some of that chipping right in there. Corner rip. It's 1950 though. That's why when we have those other 1950 movies that look new, I'm so impressed by them. This is how I would think most of them should look. Westerner. That's a weird word for me. Westerner. lot of syllables there. No, I do not want to update my Google right now. I probably never will. There we go. Then I was misspelling vanishing. There we have it. All right, 2050. It's been a while since some of these have sold. This one's not in the best of condition. I'll sell it for $25. I think if it was nice, it'd be one of those $65, $75, $85 ones. $25 on this. Michelle, Brent's already passed, then Michael. Michelle says she'll take it for the $25. And I think this was the sleeve. So Michelle for $25. Okay. That was Smiley Burnett. He had that in a Smiley Burnett packet. Oh no, a Jimmy Stewart packet. Oh, nope, there's nothing in here. That might have been where that poster was from earlier. Because I picked some of these up earlier and some of the content slid out. I bet that's what happened there. All right, let's see what this is. Are these lobby cards, posters? Those are lobby cards, several of them signed. I'm making a pile of lobby cards, and like I said, then we'll go through them later, or some now, some later. That's Sons of the Pioneer stuff. That's sheet music. Looking for posters. Looking for posters. Let's see what's in here. This is... Okay, I like the sound of this. Posters. Looks like it, possibly. Nope, that looked like a poster. It's not, though. Alright, so let me just start making a pile of lobby cards. Sorry, we're almost to the bottom of this box, which is perfect timing from where we're at. Who is this? Guy Madison. Okay. I'll go ahead and show these. These are signed. Trouble on the Trail, Guy Madison. Marshals in Disguise, signed by Guy Madison. Phantom Trail, signed by Guy Madison. The Two-Gun Teacher, signed by Guy Madison. And another Marshals in Disguise. Now, I don't know a lot about Guy Madison. However, those are signed. And he was the star of those movies, it looks like. Guy Madison. There's some stuff there. Well, let me go, excuse me, JSA here. Not a lot of authenticate. I wouldn't think, some of these places, they only authenticate stuff unless they have known examples, known confirmed examples. So some of these places may even authenticate some of these obscure Western actors. So I'll do these for $15. I mean, if they wasn't signed, I'd probably say 10, but 15. JD's, I think the only one's claimed. So JD, Two-Gun Teacher, Phantom Trails, Trouble on the Trail, and then 2 Marshals in Disguise. $15 each, your pick. I think that one there is pretty cool. That one's a nice one. Well, they all got pretty good action going on them. I bet Fred knew he was going to meet him somewhere at a convention. You got to think Fred went to a lot of rodeo conventions, a lot of cowboy conventions, and these kind of people would be set up at tables just like Comic Cons. But this was back probably in the 70s and the 80s. the bottom one here, Marshall's. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, sell that to JD for $15. If anybody else wants one, just let me know. I'm going to put those right there. I'm actually going to put them in the autograph stuff. We got a whole pile over there of the autograph stuff. Now, that was a packet that said Guy Madison autographed. Let me put that over here. And now this says what? That's the Sons of the Pioneer stuff I just pulled out. And, okay, that's mostly lobby cards, I think. I'm going to have to use the table here in front of me to sort some of this right quick, so give me a second. Let's see. Some of these have poster. Yeah, that's a poster. Let me set that over here. That's something I hadn't shown. I'm probably going to find some posters doing this. Some of these are signed, some of these are not. There probably is a poster mixed in here somewhere. Ooh, that's a cool one. All right, let me set all those. Those are mostly lobby cards. I'll probably do them individually here in a second. J.D. Conklin also wants two-gun teacher. This one here, right? J.D. Conklin also wants two-gun teacher for $15 as well. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's first clear this up a little bit. Let's see what this poster is. And then I'm going to take inventory on two things. What I have left, and then make sure the boxes are empty. Make sure the boxes are empty. And we're going to see what's been, so these are, everything we've shown from the quote new stuff has been from 2 boot boxes. And I'm going to show a couple new lobby cards too, because I like this title here. Wells Fargo Gunmaster, Allen Rocky Lane, Wells Fargo Gunmaster, and Wells Fargo Gunmaster. So 3 from that film. I thought that was a pretty cool title, Wells Fargo Gunmaster. Any tubs today? I have them close to me, but I doubt we hit any tonight, Patty. Coming soon. I'm going to mix this up. We're not, I got to go through the old stuff like I was going to before I realized we was going to buy more from Fred. So at least one or twice tonight, or once or twice this week, I'm going to go through a tub and go through some of those old, like the $10 posters we were going back through. So here's how I typically do these, $10 each, or I'll do all 3 for $25. So $10 each or all 3 for $25. That's Brent, Michael, and JD. So on those, $10 each or the 3 for $25. But yeah, we do have plenty of, and there's some good ones. I'm working on cleaning up the store. It's getting to be a mess up here. I got here at 4 o'clock, did it till 7, pretty much till the show started, and Brent says he'll take this one for 10. Okay, so that means JD or Michael or JD, if y'all want the last 2 for 15. If y'all want the last 2 for 15, or you can pass. Brent gets that one for 10. All right, let me see what this poster was that was in here. Michael passes. So JD, those are 10 each or the last 2 for 15. That is up to you. There's a couple posters in here. Good. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see what this looks like. Patty, you just need to email us your schedule and we'll work around it. Wow, is this? No, I think this is a reprint. I saw the title and I was like, this can't, well, I don't know. I don't think it is. Well, I'm going to show it. Somebody's going to want it regardless. Tall in the Saddle with John Wayne. I don't think that's in kind of original, though. Tall in the Saddle, or it's a reissue. Are you open on Saturday? Yes, we're always open on Saturday, barring some unforeseen incident. But yes, we're always open on Saturdays. The last time we was closed on a Saturday was for Seth's wedding, and that was a rarity that everybody couldn't be because Ed was there. My mom and Ed are the only two people that really run the store. And if my mom has to be off, Ed has to be here. But if something's happening, Ed can't be here and my mom can't be here. Yeah, this is some kind of reprint. But I'll say this, Heritage don't have an example. It's definitely on older paper. I mean, it's on older paper. It says printed in the USA. I kind of like that black and red look it's got. I don't know what year. Of course, the movie is from the third. What year is this movie from? 44? The movie's from 44. I have a feeling this was printed sometime in the, just based on the paper, probably the 60s, maybe. So, $25. Brent, Michelle, and Michael. Brent, Michelle, and Michael. Ward Bond, John Wayne. It's definitely 60s looking printing and stuff, you know, consistent with other posters from that era. The only thing Ed had, or Fred had wrote on it was John Wayne, Tall in the Saddle. So 25, Brent, Michelle, and Michael. Michelle, you got next dibs. Brent's going to pass, he says. All right, let me be getting that next one open. Michelle says she'll take it for 25. And let's see what this next one is. This is definitely a really cool poster. Pals of the Golden Rest with Roy Rogers and Trigger and Dale Evans. Cool. I bet we've got, man, wait till y'all see. We got some awesome signed Roy Rogers prints. Awesome. Huge framed, like professionally mounted type stuff that Fred had in his office. He had, I mean, you could tell they were his prized possessions. He had them right over his desk. They're signed by Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, and then other people. I'm sure people that have to do with his movies or show, or I don't think Trigger signed them. That'd be pretty remarkable. Okay, this poster's pretty good. 2014, 13. It's been a while since one sold too. Let me check Terapeak, and it's been about it. And they were kind of pricey back then, it looks like. Let's see here. There is a insert. It's sold for $200. There's the title lobby card. There's the poster, and there's a poster. That one didn't sell, though. Or did it? Yeah, no bids on that one. That's more realistic of a price there. Okay, I'm just going to go by some of these most, add probably a little based on inflation from 12 years ago and say this is $85. That's what I was doing with some of the Gene Autrys earlier. $85 on this. It's a late 50s reissue you had before. That's probably right. It looked like 50s. It looked like paper like this, the one Michelle got. So I just kind of guessed on that one. This is $85. Brent, you're first, then Michelle, then Michael, then JD. Really no damage except one seam split here. And as you can see, if it's flat, it's kind of hard to tell. That's a nice poster. That's a really good price from what I'm seeing. It's got what you want on it. It's got Trigger down here at the bottom with Roy Rogers. It's got Dale Evans, and it's got a big picture of Roy Rogers. It's got Roy Rogers punching somebody. That sold for $85. That was a good random poster to find laying around. All right, let me see what else I have over here in the lobby cards. Sold to Brent for $85. There it is in the sold pile. And that poster was tucked, those two posters were tucked in behind this lobby card. Song of the Wasteland, Jimmy Wakely. Okay. Whoop. Well, there. That one took off. My stacks get too tall. All right, so let's see what these other lobby cards are. I think this is all from the same movie here. Very crisp. These got very clear images on them. Night Riders of Montana, Allen Rocky Lane. Night Riders of Montana. Night Riders of Montana. And Night Riders of Montana. 1931, is that right? Night Riders of Montana. $1951. I was about to say, that seems too early. 1951. $30 for the 3 on those. Very good condition. I don't think those were ever hung. And what I was talking about is like the images on them are so clear. That says, I thought that said 31 at first, 1951. That was all in one sleeve together here. Brent, then JD. Interested in the first one. Yeah, I'll do them for $10. $10 each if you want them. Cole, that's the same question I ask a lot when I see this. Brand, if you're talking about that one, I'll sell that for $10. Yes, the one where he's double gunned. It amazes me because I look at these and I'm like, how do they do this without a computer? How do they do this without a computer? Incredible. And I guess they had some sort of like screen print or, you know, one of those like presses, but I'm still trying to figure out how they got this image. And, you know, I need to do some research. I need to watch a documentary on printing of the 30s and 40s and 50s because it blows my mind. I look at these images, I'm like, man, I mean, that looks crisper than something I could print out over here with my laser jet, you know. So those are sold to Brent for $10 and $10. And top right. Well, I mixed them up. Left or right? I bet you wanted that one, right, JD? The one on the right now. Yeah, I need to watch something like the history of printing. Because I understand how they made books or, you know, print and typeface and letters and all that. But I was like, man, how did they get images transferred this crisp back in the 50s? In the 40s? I mean, and some of these from the 30s. So. Yeah, some of these, yeah, this one, okay, so this is sold, those are sold, and then this one here is sold by itself, the JD. So that leaves one, if anybody wants that one, Night Riders of Montana. Metal plates, lithography. I'm going to have to look into this. And Michelle may be onto something right. I mean, these films most of these are black and white movies. So these are color. You can tell, like, let me show this one, Death Valley. Here's our next one, Death Valley Gunfighter. But you can kind of tell his shirt is colored. See, you can see right there where they colored it. This is a black and white photo, I'm almost positive, and or maybe some color or something, but you can kind of see where they touched up her bow, and right there, and they messed it up. They got some blue there on his ear. That was messed up on that other one, and then that's all like hand drawn, and then they placed it on top of it, I'm sure. Okay, so that's Death Valley Gunfighter. Rocky Allen Lane, Death Valley Gunfighter. Yeah, you see his jeans? It almost looks like they're fake. They colored his jeans in blue, and they didn't trace it good. It looks kind of like they're messed up. But it has a weird tint to it. Death Valley Gunfighter, Death Valley Gunfighter, and Death Valley Gunfighter. All right, let's get these in order, and then Brent, $10 each on these, unless you're interested in all of them. So we have number 6, number 5, number 3. He wants the one where they're on horses. That's sold to Brent for $10. That's sold to Brent for $10. Anybody else wants a Death Valley Gunfighter, let me know. There's Man and Woman. There's Masked Men. There's 2 men, and there's, looks like they're inside the courthouse or something. Let's do a few more, then I'm going to recap and from tonight's and last night's, and possibly do some bundle deals. We'll see, though. These are all sleeved individually here. Well, there's some on the front and back. Take a negative, enhanced with color. What did they? Was it a big negative, or did they do it really small? I'm thinking about like a tiny little, like a negative. I bet it's like a bigger one though. They had to have. Bullets for rustlers. Bullets for rustlers. Bullets for rustlers. Bullets for rustlers. And there's only one of these, The Thundering West. That's a pretty cool title. All Charles Starrett. Film negative from the movie. Okay, so probably a little bit bigger film then. Probably a little bit bigger film. Of course, I'm questioning, if you gave these to a much younger person, even younger than me, they would just think a printer, like, oh, this is, but then if you actually know the 40s or 50s, and you start thinking, how did they do this? Regardless, whether they're painting stuff or whatever, it's amazing how well they did it for what they had. I mean, if you said computer back then, these guys would probably shoot you like they would in the movies. Like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. Thundering West. J.D. Conklin, $10 on this. You'd end up in a saloon fight. So I saw something with Disney making the lithographs. Y'all seen how Disney did the animation sales almost individually? And there's like huge rooms full of people. And they're in there doing those tiny animation sales, one by one, for each little scene. That's sold to J.D. Conklin. That's why those animation sales are very valuable. Very valuable. I think Fred has something like that. It's a framed, one of those frame pieces we got. I don't think it's anything Disney, but it's something. It's some kind of animation cell he's got framed back there. Okay, let me stop there. As y'all seen, there's a whole stack of lobby cards, which we'll eventually go through those. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sort the most recent stuff here, and I'm going to keep this stuff together like just lobby cards, and we may do some kind of bundle deal. But this is the most recent, so I have a feeling nobody wants to make any more offers on these. I'm going to put them all together here. And I've never really put any of this stuff out in the store. There's the Maxi poster. I priced that for $15, so those are all lobby cards. There's the Maxi poster. There's another lobby card. Another lobby card. Another lobby card. That was the Roy Rogers ads. The John Wayne ad and the Roy Rogers ad. That was that last Mutiny and the Bounty poster, which had some damage. I'll put these right here. There's the Brando lobby card. That was really good. South Pacific Trails. Oklahoma Plains. There's the other Burn poster with Brando. There's the Under Mexicali Stars. We had 3 of those. There's another one of those. There's a reprint photo of Rough Riders. 6 Gun Music. Then we had all the Hopalong Cassidy stuff, which I think we still had. We might have sold 1 or 2 out of there, but there was a bunch of the Hopalong Cassidy stuff. All right. So there's a stack of lobby cards. Just a few posters there. Let's see here. Let's get the empty sleeves in here. Trying to save our sleeves so we need them later. Okay, then we had the Faye Dunaway Life magazine, the Marlon Brando Life magazine. I priced those for $15 and $15. We had that last Chevy Chase poster, Oh Heavenly Dog. There's the Singing on the Trail lobby card. The Caribou Trail lobby card. And then Cowboy Blues and Singing on the Trail lobby cards. Next is an empty sleeve. Okay, and there's another Life magazine. Fred Astaire. This is stuff from last night now. There's Fred Astaire and Son, 1941, August 25th. World War II hadn't even started, at least in here. Okay, and then here's stuff from last night. Let me move it a little bit closer, because last night I ended abruptly to make it to Taco Bell, if I remember that, so we didn't get to go back through anything. So there's the Blaze of Noon, and then we had all these Going South posters. So we had Going South, Going South, Going South. I think those are all Going Souths. There were some tucked in each other. I think there's 4 or 5 there. Stacy, the Fred Astaire magazine, I think I said $15. No address strip on that one. I don't know if they were even coming in the mail by the 40s. I feel like they were, but I don't see too many address strips on the ones from the 40s anyway. But if you want that, just say sold. And then we had there's more Going Souths. There's another Going South. Those are, who was this? Hold on a second. Let me see what this, did we make sure something didn't get mixed up here? Yeah, we showed that, The Great Adventure. Stacy sold on the Fred Astaire for $15. That's sold to Stacy. I don't know what that one is. Zygla, Love and Death. Love and Death. Love in a Goldfish Bowl. A couple empty sleeves. When Time Ran Out. Sweet Ride, and whatever that was. All right, so I'm going to bundle these posters first. Let me count these. These are from the last couple nights. All right, so we're about to do a bundle deal. So if you want these after I price them, you can say sold or bundle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and some of these I don't really remember. 9, 10, 11, Michelle says when time ran out 10. Let me pause right there and figure out where that is. When time ran out. I will stop the count to find that one. Time ran out. Where did that go to? Which? Not that one, because I didn't even open that one. One of the first ones. Yeah, I think Tango sold. I don't see it. Yeah, when time ran out. This right here. Let's open it, make sure. James Caan. Yeah, when time ran out. All right. That sold to Michelle Miller for $10. Yeah, the Tango. I think Michelle bought the Tango last night. All right, let me start recounting then. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's those Chevy Chase we were selling for 15. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that's 11. And that's with John Belushi and Jack Nicholson. 12, 13, 14, Mutiny on the Bounty. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And Paul Brothers says 10 on a going south. Yep. I'll show you this one right here. Right there. That's sold to Paul Brothers for $10. So now I think there's 20 there now. With that, 20. Somebody's got to take them. $45. 20 posters for $45. 45s. Y'all know I like my 5s in there. And I'll throw in the Roy Rogers ads with the John Wayne ad. So Roy Rogers ads, the John Wayne ad, and the Rough Riders photo. Now it's 45. Brent's threw out 35. I just added stuff to it. Blaze of Noon. Josh, I think I priced that yesterday for 10. If you want it. Brent's at 35. Oh. This is sold to Josh for 10. I only printed $35 bills today. Paul says he would take it for 45. You're first though, so you got dibs, but Paul's in at 45. And then Kenny. So you got 2 people working against you. I was waiting. I was like, I bet somebody will decide they'll need that. And then we're going to do the lobby cards next. So, unfortunately, it doesn't sound like you have any $45 bills. Sell it to Paul. Okay. Paul Brothers, this is all yours. I'm going to keep this separate. We're going to try to get that in a big, maybe we can put all that in one envelope for Paul. So that's the one that has the Rough Riders picture on top. Now, I'm going to offer this Marlon Brando lobby card one more time for $15. I think that's what I sold Brent the other one for. 1960. I'm going to lay it back here, and I'm going to start counting the others. And if somebody wants that before it goes to the bundle for cheap, there it is. 1. Make sure none of these are signed. 2. Some of them may be. 3. 4. Here's all the Hopalong Cassidy stuff. 5. 6. 7, that one's a little damaged. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me stop there. How many monsters did you drink tonight? I've already slept for 3 hours and randomly woke up. Oh, I've had, well, since 7 o'clock, I've had 4 cans of V8. I could stay up a long time. I could stay up till this time tomorrow if I needed to. There's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Hold that bundle comment, JD. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to price it all, and then the first person to say sold or take or bundle gets them. That's at 25. That's at 25. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. 37, and I think y'all know we were selling a lot of those for $10. A lot of people's picked what they wanted, though. I still think there's some good ones in there with the Hopalong Cassidy and the Ken Curtis, but there's 37 there. I'll do those for $125. $125. Those 37. Most of those are 50s films. I don't think there's hardly anything from the 60s. Those are sold to J.D. Conklin. That is a great deal. $125. A great deal. Those are gone. Feel like that's a third, but you're buying everything there for $125. That is sold. I'm going to put those right there. JD, quick on that one. Okay, now the only thing really left tonight were, so there was Guy Madison, and Guy Madison, and we priced those earlier. These are all signed, and we did those 15, 15, 15. I'll do these last 3 for $20. Those last 3 for $20, and those are signed. Hope I left out Marlon Brando. I'm going to keep that by itself. If not, I'm going to put them, I'm just going to put that out in the store or something. I think that's awesome. Or I'm going to keep it. $15 if anybody wants it. That's 1960 Marlon Brando. $15 on that. Mark Fallon wants the 3 Guy Madisons for $20. Let me put those in a sleeve. Those are sold to Mark Fallon, and those are signed. Mark Fallon jumping on at 1:30 a.m. buying lobby cards. Brent says he'd give 10 for Brando. That might have been what I sold you the other one for, Brent. I really don't remember. It was either 15 or 10. Let's sell that to Brent for $10. It's gone. All right, now what else do we have over here? Okay, this was $325, I think is what I said. And this is signed by James Stewart, the James Stewart actor from, I know him from It's a Wonderful Life. Of course, prolific actor. 1953, The Naked Spur, signed. I said $325 earlier. If no one buys it, I'm going to have it checked, and I'll feel much more comfortable, and I'll probably have more time. $225. Okay, thank you. $225. $225. If it don't sell tonight, I'm going to have it checked, and then it's either going to be more or less. More or less. Probably more. I don't know. Could be less after I do more additional research on sold. I didn't see a lot of signed posters. I saw a lot of signed pictures, but a signed poster is pretty cool, but that's $225. I probably need to write that down on a sticky note. I meant to do it on some of the other stuff from the other night. Okay, then we have Burl Ives. We had a signed photo. I don't think anybody bought these. We had a signed photo, a signed sheet music, and then 2 signed lobby cards. Those were 45 and 45. Okay. The sheet music, I said 40 and 40. And then I think I said 35 on the photo. I'll guarantee those. They look good, and I'll guarantee those. If I'm selling any autograph, I'll guarantee it. If I don't think it's good or it's too valuable to be selling, I'm not going to sell a Jim Morrison autograph for $8,000 and it's not authenticated, or Eric Clapton or some of those ones. Y'all know what I mean. It's going to be reasonable, and I'm going to have a good feeling about it, especially coming with the provenance of Fred stuff for sure. Brent's offered $195 for this. I'm probably going to sell it to him. That's a very fair offer for that, based on what I was seeing signed James Stewart stuff fell for. That's a very fair offer. Michael Ruttman, Riders in the Sky, that was $40 earlier. Just let me know what you're thinking on that, or sold. $40 if you want it. And I'm going to go ahead and count down that to Brent. $195. And then we had Ernest Borgnine signed lobby card. I'm almost positive I said $45 on that. Almost positive. I'm gonna have to double check that one. Let me double check that one. I need a sticky note. I need some sticky notes tomorrow to go back through the stuff that don't sell. Usually y'all can remember, because y'all are probably thinking about it. So I priced so much. How many items did I price tonight? 150? I think I said 45 though. But then I was thinking 75. I was also thinking I said 75. One of these was 45 that's coming up. Yeah, this was 75. Yeah, 75. That was 75. All right. Well, Brent, you got a really cool piece there, I think, at a great price. That sold to Brent for $195. Let's sell this to Michael Ruttman for $35. Let me get that in a sleeve for you, Michael. Yeah, that Ernest Borgnine, it was $75. Signed Revengers. Signed Revengers lobby card. Michael, let me make sure there's nothing tucked down inside of this. Like another signed item. That's sold to Michael. So that leaves multiple Burl Ives signed items. The photo, Foggy Mountain Dew. Brent, I think he was interested in that one earlier. Michael said 35. I think I priced him earlier for 40, so I'll do 40 on that. And I'm still at 45 on the lobby cards, unless somebody's interested in both. And then we had the Lone Ranger, Clayton Moore. Those were 45. I think those are the ones for 45. And I think Brent bought one. There's two Clayton Moore signed. The Lone Ranger. The movie is Adventures of Frank and Jesse James. Those are signed by Clayton Moore. And, oh, here's another random poster. No, this one's probably signed. Yeah, this was signed by Ken Curtis. And that was Pony Express Rider. Down here's where it's signed. He had a nice signature. Ken Curtis. So that's signed. I don't think I actually ever priced that. I don't think I ever priced that to anybody. And then we had a ton of signed Ken Curtis lobby cards. And I don't think I ever priced any of these. No one, I don't think, was interested. Best regards, Ken Curtis. That's a cool look one. Out of the Depths. That looks like a war movie. Ken Curtis. This one's personalized to Fred. For my friend Fred, best of luck and good wishes, Ken Curtis. Fred Goodwin collection. Cowboy Blues for Fred with sincere good wishes, Ken Curtis. The Singing on the Trail, Ken Curtis. Cowboy Blues, Ken Curtis. Hopefully we'll find in one of these boxes a Gunsmoke picture of Festus. Rhythm Roundup, signed by Ken Curtis. Riders of the Pony Express. That's a cool looking one. Riders of the Pony Express, signed by Ken Curtis. There's another Singing on the Trail. Best wishes, Ken Curtis. There's another Singing on the Trail. There's another Singing on the Trail. And another Singing on the Trail. Is my chat still working? Okay. I guess everybody's just sleepy. We're down to 39 people. It's 1:38 a.m. We're down to 39 people. I told you I would go late if y'all would let me break. Yeah, let me break on those. Brent, these are all signed. These are all signed, so these aren't just standard lobby cards. These are all autographed by Ken Curtis. Pony Express. I was just about to look that up. And then, of course, the 2 Life magazines. I guess that's the only thing. I'll do $20 if anybody wants both of them. I said 15 and 15 individually. 1968, 1962. $20 if anybody wants both of those. But can't do 10 on any of these. They're all signed by Ken Curtis. And let me check his autograph again. I'm really just basing them on his signed stuff. Cut signature sold for $40. Signed Festus photo, $160. Signed Festus photo, $160. Signed Festus photo, $140. And then a James Arness and Ken Curtis autograph sold for $500 together, framed. There's another Ken Curtis. That one's personalized for $300. To Pauline, best wishes, Ken Curtis, $179. His autograph isn't really cheap. There's a cut signature for $80. And these are lobby cards signed, which I think are pretty cool. And active, there's nothing really that cheap active. And that's JSA. Let me search PSA. Nothing active PSA. Sold PSA. PSA is typically more because it usually there's a cut slabbed Ken Curtis autograph sold for $139. So yeah, he's not a cheap signature. He's not a cheap signature. I mean, when a cut signature is like where it like shows that people get them to sign index cards and they frame them, and then they frame an album or a photo. These are like posters and original 1940s lobby cards. So I think these are pretty cool. Paul Brothers takes both of the Life magazines for $20, so both of those sold to Paul. I think that's really cool. I mean, that's 1962. What does that make you think of? It looks, his hair and his pose there looks just like Vito Corleone. Those are both sold to Paul for $20. So JD, like I said, his cut signature is every bit of $80, and then signed photos on average are about $150. So I'll do these for any of the Ken Curtis. $125 is y'all's price. And I think after their JSA stickered, they would bring anywhere between $150 and $200 at auction, whether at Heritage or eBay. $125, and that's for any of these in here. And I'm saying, like I said, a cut signature. Here's a slabbed cut. I'll show it to you. This sold for $139 right here. Best regards, Ken Curtis. And that's like a slab JSA. That's a sold price of $139. So, but I'm here to make deals with y'all. I've got a bunch of them. I don't know when I'll ever get these authenticated. It could be next month. It could be 6 months. Fine afternoon here in the future. Australia. Welcome, Rob Anderson. 95 for Riders. Yeah, I'll show you the photo. Or there's where it's signed. Ken Curtis. Signed in a Sharpie. And that is a, what year is this lobby card? It's been folded. I know that. It looks like 40s. Let me see which one you saw, Brent. Riders. Brent said 95 on Riders. Let's see what that one looks like. Riders. Cowboy Blues. Riders. Oh, you're talking about Pony, right here, the Pony Express. Pony Express, Riders. Oh, yes. Say Brent. So it's actually the dibs go to Brent, JD, and then Brent and JD. That y'all two have both asked about it. Y'all both have bought quite a bit tonight. However, Brent, I don't think I've won any offers tonight. I feel like everything's went your way, and JD's way, and Paul Brothers' way, and Josh's way, and Debbie's, and Michael's, and Mark Fallon's, and Michelle's. 105. 105. That'll be one of the few counters I've done tonight. I took your offer on James Stewart. I'm pretty sure I took your offer on that first poster, that the monster poster signed by Ken Curtis. But I spent all my day. You did. That's true. Hopefully you printed enough for the rest of the month. And all of August and most of September and into the future of the rest of the year. Okay, if you buy that, I will throw in this. Hold on. I'm going to throw something in. Here, I'll throw in a poster that didn't sell last night. This is going to be a no-brainer. But everybody passed on it the other night, I think, for $15. This is a 3-sheet of Meet in the Heat of Fire Creek. A 3-sheet. And I think wasn't that a Sinatra movie? Who stars in this? It's a 3. We opened it up. Everybody passed the other night at $15. I will throw this in at $105 because it's a leftover poster. No, this is another James Stewart. It was James Stewart. That's one of the stars in it, at least. A full 3-sheet. Nice condition, too. So now, that's a no-brainer at $105. You get a free 3-sheet and this poster. So because this is going to probably I was going to end up in a bundle tomorrow, so. Okay, so I think Brent's going to do that for sure. So sell that and the free poster. So however y'all want to put that in. $105. I can't believe no one bought that yesterday. It was $15, and I was like, wow, a James Stewart 3-sheet. But I think it was you and Michael, and y'all both passed and passed. But y'all probably already have it. That's probably what it is. Some of these posters y'all pass on, I'm like, how are you passing? Then I found out I've already sold you like 2 of them. Okay, so the only thing left behind, we've went through 2 boot boxes. Here's what they look like. We've went through 2 boot boxes. In the bottom of this is a few autographs, and this one's officially empty. And what is this? Hold on a second. I'm going to show these tomorrow because I want to check them out. Okay, I want to check out the signature. It's nothing crazy. There's another Clayton Moore, but it's on a really good movie. There's a Disney movie here. But I want to check these out. I want to look at them, and then I'll put those. So these will be shown tomorrow. Here's some stuff to look forward to tomorrow. Here's all the lobby cards I didn't show. So we got some of those are signed, especially down here at the bottom. We didn't show any of those. Some more Hopalong Cassidy. Those signed photos there. This is the stuff left from these 2 boot boxes. That one's empty. That one's empty. We got the leftovers. I got to go back through, which are right here, which had some really good posters. I think this is some of the stuff we showed on Saturday night, and some of y'all were passing on because of budgeting. There's Chinatown, a 3-sheet of Mutiny on the Bounty. We're going to go through those, the Joe Namath posters that were left over, and then I'm going to sell them cheap, what's not sold. And then the stuff we were doing last night, the only thing I have left is right here, which is this Candace Bergman packet. There's some lobby cards I have not shown. And then we had all those prints, which had Clint Eastwood and stuff like that. And there's some sheet music here. Looks like Fred Astaire sheet music. All right, so that stuff to go back through, that's new stuff, and then we got the stuff to go back through. I think Chinatown was $425, $475 or $425. I guess I'll do $425 because I'm not sure. It was up there though. If you want to show it, if you want to see it, I'll show it. So these are all signed. I'm going to keep all this separate. I'm going to have all this JSA stickered at some point, and that will help me sell it online if nobody here buys it. And with that, and oh, of course, the Roger Maris, we got to get those checked. And then Brent, I still got, oh yeah, here's all these. Did y'all forget about these? There's the Roger Maris, all the Roger Maris signed lobby cards. Incredible. And then we have all these James Stewart lobby cards that are signed. Signed. These are all signed. Everything in here, there's 3 or 4 items in there. Those are all signed by James Stewart. Those are all signed. And let's see here. I guess, Brent, you bought the lobby cards, right? And then there's the insert, the safe at home insert. You bought the lobby cards though, right? You bought those. Those need to be. They hadn't watched that show yet. I don't think. Everything's still laying up here. And then this half sheet. Yeah, those are sold to Brent. And then this is still there. So I'm going to put all the signed and top stuff right there. Chinatown probably needs to go on that, but that's actually autographed. So let me keep that separate. All right, and then there's those. I got to give those to Melanie. Okay. So yeah, still got all those, and Brent taught me out of a signed. I wasn't going to sell any James Stewart stuff till it was all together and checked, but there it is. Yeah, and these are sold. These are sold, and this is kind of pending to Brent. So we've got to, I'm kind of in between on a few things here, and I got to make sure those go to Melanie. I need to do that right now. So other than that, I think we've completed almost two boot boxes. We've got 97% of it sold. There's a box of road posters, about 7 road posters here I still hadn't shown. And then we'll get into new stuff tomorrow. You never know when an autograph's going to pop up. These boxes, when we open them up, I don't know if y'all saw the frame stuff or what's in these boxes, but at any time, an incredible autograph could pop up, as y'all seen, or an incredible poster, or an incredible lobby card. So, thanks everybody for watching. I'm officially signing off. See, I took a break and ate a calzone, so I've had plenty of energy and plenty of food. I could go till 5 a.m., but we got to find a stopping point. This will be the good stopping point. We'll stop right here. So, good night. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Amazing Records. Amazing Records. We'll do this segment again, and y'all know the drill. 7 o'clock, I'll be here. Thank you. Continued support. Amazing as always. If y'all didn't show up and buy stuff, we wouldn't be doing it. I would be doing something else right now. But if y'all show up and buy stuff, I'll keep finding it and I'll keep selling it. Thanks for watching. Good night. See you tomorrow.